What's going on, everybody? Man, this is Matt Young with Speaking from the Heart. We got a amazing guest that we want you guys to tap into.
I'm Tyler Hoagman. I'm the founder and president of Neighborhood Heroes.
Let's go, Heroes with the H. No, so look, before we get going, we like to ask questions, and the questions we like to ask, we usually come up with some. We like sneakers, all that different stuff. But today's question is, when did you know you needed mentorship?
Oh, right off the bat, I come from pretty rough upbringings. Raised by my aunt and uncle, parents, heavy addiction. I didn't have the nicest things growing up. I didn't have the resources, the ride to practice all the time, late to games all the time. So I think people around me always noticed that, and they kind of I always had somebody there to pick me up. And even from a young age, like 11, 12,
Man.
I knew that when I got to a spot where I could give back, that's what I wanted to do.
Jeez, bro, I can remember those days, bro, too, myself. Like, I didn't even know I needed mentorship because I feel like, when you're going through what you're going
you don't
through,
realize it till now.
You don't realize it until now. And so I can remember just kind of like, you got dreams and reality. And so, like, I was dreaming, seeing people at football practice, different things, parents being there. And that's
Sports
what
keeps you busy,
right?
You don't even realize it.
And so I'm dreaming those things, but then when I come to my reality, mom's gone 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? There's no food at the house, right? And so I remember I needed mentorship is actually when I got in trouble in the system, bro.
Yeah.
Like, got on probation,
Yeah.
and my parents, nobody was there. And I had to walk home from St. John's where they had a precinct over there by myself at 12 years old.
Yeah.
And that's when I started thinking about, like, bro, what is wrong? Because this is not normal. And so, man, let's run off that, man. Because I know at the end of the day, I feel like what we're talking about really has tied to mentorship and then childhood trauma.
Yeah.
And so maybe talk a little bit more about just your upbringing, about just not having the support that you needed, with families and loved ones and different things like that.
Yeah. Like I said, I was like super underprivileged. I always if I had a ball in my hand, I was okay.
Okay.
And then losing my train of thought because it's deep.
No, but hey, no. But you got to be deep.
Yeah.
Speak from the heart, bro.
Yeah.
Like, if you can go back, like right now, it's like the Raven vision. Like, go back, bro, because people need to know the emotional side of, like, it sucks that we have to go back there, but people need to know those feelings and those emotions, bro, because it wasn't just like not privilege. But what was it like having holes in your shoes, maybe, or like, you know what I'm saying, getting made fun of,
No, exactly. I was always like super blessed though. Like I seen who I was, but I feel like nobody else really like made it a big deal. I always had the right people in my life. Right. And I always knew that it could be like there was people in my same exact situation who had it way worse than me. Right. Because I always was blessed with somebody, a mentor or a coach or somebody that took care of me. Wow. I literally never had to go without. Wow. I was blessed. Wow. Super blessed. But came from the worst. Man. Right? Seeing my dad overdose. Man. Mom getting pulled over, shoving a crack pipe in my pants, so it's deep. It's deep, right? And then, like I said, I never had to feel that feeling of like it sucked, right? Having to go home or whatever. But when I was out in sports and busy, and I was just always taken care of, and it was such a blessing. And that's why I was like, I got to get back. I got to be that guy, for these kids, when I get older, man. Right.
Well, it's crazy when you start to talk about those things, man. I started thinking about like, why do us as kids have to go through that? Like, if we could customize our parents like Nike sneakers, is one of my favorite lines that I like to say. Yeah. But if we could do that, I don't think we would have customized, man, I got to put in this journey in my life, I'm going to make sure my mom puts this crack pipe in my pants. Right. Like, man, in my life, man, I wouldn't have thought my, sister was getting molested by my mom's boyfriend. And then they're fighting because my mom knows the truth and my sister protecting the lie.
You have to believe that you have to believe that we went through that to be who we are.
No facts.
For the ones
that
need it.
Bro.
Period.
No, come on. Yeah. Come on. And so, like you're saying, like, we're not going through this stuff or been through this stuff for no reason, because now it's like, man, as me being a mentorship, and I know you're being a mentorship, I feel like we're at the highest level that we can be as far as like, okay, well, what is a real man? For one, loving who they are,
Mm-hmm.
right? 2, making sure that they know their calling and their identity. And then 3 is maximizing what they need to do, right?
Stepping into the purpose.
Right? And then so once you do those certain things, that's when you're really attractive. You can still attract people when you're broken, but I feel like you attract people where you're at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
I was just telling them, I don't think God didn't choose me for this because I'm perfect.
No, come on.
I think he chose me because I needed it just as much as everybody else.
No, come on.
And it's just super powerful, and not many people, I know you can relate and you understand, but not many people can kind of understand where we come from and why we're here doing what we do. You know, we're not just an average Joe trying to get money from the community to coach kids. You know, it's way deep. For me, it's way deeper than sports. Way deeper than sports.
Come on, bro. What's funny is so yesterday I was talking to a parent, and, you know, I feel like our callings and then the competition is so oversaturated. Yeah. And so I remember talking to this parent, because if you look at it, man, there's trainers, man, there's baseball programs, you know, there's basketball programs, football programs, and it's oversaturated to the point where it's like, what's the separation? Mm-hmm. And I had to tell a parent the other day, I said, I don't care where your kid goes. Just make sure you're surrounding yourself around people that's going to take care of his heart. Mm-hmm. That's what matters at the end of the day.
Yeah. So my thing, I always say, there's like you said, there's clinics and coaches and programs that come and go all over the place. And I feel like even in our town, they attract a certain group of kids, you know, that can pay for the one-on-one lessons, that have a dad or a grandpa to bring them to practice every single day, that have the structure and the guidance and the, you know, the upbringing at home. But there's a huge group of kids. There's a huge group of kids that don't have. There's a huge group of kids that don't have the ride, that don't have the parent to bring them, don't have the courage, the confidence, and they never get a chance. And I learned that coaching young kids. You know, you have kids that are late to practice and, you know, forget their glove and all this stuff, and coaches are like, I don't even want to deal with that kid. Right. I don't care how good he is.
Because it's more work.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you love it, right? Yeah. This is why I always say, if you love what you do, it's never work, right? It's
I wish like my mom used to do that. You work with your bird. Mm-hmm. We used to pick him up for practice.
Yeah.
And I never got why. You know what I mean? Like, because I was so, and that's why I love having this conversation. My life is so different.
Yeah.
My mom's just like, oh, we're gonna start picking.
You were home alone. Yeah. That's who you were.
McCoy.
And I was like, I know, like, I put with
yeah.
And it's crazy because
different world,
man,
completely different.
What's the word? Like the naiveness or whatever.
Yeah.
Naive, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I don't even know this reality.
You know? Right.
Like, pick them up, take them all, and I'm like.
But you're blessed now to understand the difference, because there's even adults now that don't even understand.
Either don't understand or don't know how to. Right.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, what's crazy though, so T, you talking about just like that situation, I feel like the feeling is all the same. It's just different categories what you experience seeing that stuff, right? Yeah. And so like with me, you know, I wasn't born in inner city. Mm-hmm. I got dragged in inner city, and that part was the drag part. It was like my mom was married to, he wasn't her dad, but my mom was married to the dude named Fred, and he was a engineer. Mm-hmm. And, you know, my mom was working at the bank over there in Portland, but with the 2 twin towers, the U.S. Bank downtown. Yeah. Those used to be U.S. Bank. I don't know if it's still there. But my mom when you talk about mentorship, you want to talk about identity too. Mm-hmm. And so my mom, I felt like, you know, you can be gifted but lost.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
And so she had everything she needed and wanted, but when you don't understand who you are, you can start being led by your emotions. And like, what if you meet somebody? It's just like when I talk about like Adam and Eve. Like, if she would have had the game and had the identity that like Adam had, would she ever got deceived by the serpent? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And so but no, for real. And so, no.
They called, and the command was given to Adam.
True, but so Adam was a weak leader then.
Yes.
Okay. Next podcast. All right, so we went from good to shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that a lot of people didn't understand was, you know, when we moved to Portland, we moved first to Northeast Portland. And Northeast Portland is not like how it is now. Like, you know, it's gentrified now. But at that time where we moved in, you know, the school that we had to go to was Whitlawn. That was blood territory. Like, you had to cross the Bloods to get to school, right?
Yeah.
And so you're not coming from that type of mentality. You had to adapt to that lifestyle because you
Survival.
were survival, right? Because you were really going to get either sink or swim, kill or be killed.
Yeah.
And so that was
my whole life's been that way. You either sink or swim.
No, come on, right?
Yeah.
And so being in those environments, it wasn't a bad environment. It was because if it was bad, what I always say is if those environments are really bad, why do the highest Power 5 colleges go there to go get these recruits?
Yeah.
They don't just say, "Oh no, come over here," because then you wouldn't really be interested in them. You go to the, and I know those people are open and respectful when those, you know, being there. Now at that demon time, that's a different.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's just crazy how, like, at the end of the day, you could be going through something, and you could be earning and burning for something, and you would never know, all because of you may not have the right mentorship, and you don't have identity. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man.
I had and like I said, at a young age, if you can establish what we know now, the building blocks for kids to build off of, because like my thing is like so many, you know, through kids, teenagers to adult life, so many people, you create self-sabotage and you create bad habits, and then when you get to our age, you're like, now I want to fix it. Now I want to go on a diet. Now I want to go to the gym. To fix these years of bad habits. My thing is let's start young.
Come on.
Give them the building blocks that we have now that took us years to find.
Come on.
And then I don't understand why there's not more adults that want to do that. You know?
Well, what made you want to start up Heroes, and like what pulled you to that?
A lot of it comes from just coaching the youth. I've been a youth basketball coach for 5-6 years and baseball coach for a few years, you know, 7-8 years. And like when you're a coach, you just, like I said in my last podcast, you got 2 hours to teach the skill at young age, the young kids. You got to teach them how to catch, dribble, shoot. And then like at the end of the practice, you just see like there's so much more to it. Like they're there for a break and an outlet, but then they got to leave and go home. Sports is over. Sports is over. Back to it, right? And you can see the emotional damage when they're face adversity at sports. You know, like, I got kids that strike out or can't throw a strike, and they just lose their composure. And I think it's worse now than ever. I talk to so many coaches, and they're like, "Oh my God, it's so bad." I got a whole team full of kids that just like have super bad attitudes, and it's like because it's way deeper than just being a good athlete. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. They're focused too much on how good of an athlete can I create, when it's you got to create a good human. You know, give them more tools than just sports. Because even I, coming out of high school, I didn't know how to read a tape measure or nothing. Give me a basketball or give me a baseball, I can ball. You know what I mean? But real life skills, didn't have much. And I had to grind hard to get all that. And I think kids deserve more than just learning how to play sports at a young age. But that's a huge outlet that's a huge outlet in our town. Small town. Sports is everything for young kids.
Well, that's how it is like in the South, you know, when you out there is really football state, right? You go football, then God. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy when you say those things, man. I can remember the time when, you know, you said self-sabotaging yourself, trying to figure out who you are and different things like that. And so I remember, you know, going into like considered an adult, you know, 19, 20 years old, and I'm in jail. And I get out, and the first thing I do is I just kind of like basketball has always been like my cross. You know what I'm saying? So I draw back to basketball, but now I'm at Lord's Gym. And I remember Dave White was like, "Hey man, we want you to start a program, youth program." I was all like, he ain't talking to me, bro. Like, bro, I can't read. You know what I'm saying? Like, people keep making me feel like I'm a monster. I'm having these feelings, and some people know they're these things and don't care about and they be in these situations. And I was like, nah, bro, I don't want to be around these kids. I can't bring nothing to the table. I'm having these questions with myself. Yeah. And so I remember 2010 when I had got out, I was in there for 3 days, you know what I'm saying? It was a DV, but I wasn't on some crazy stuff.
I did a 7-day stint myself.
I said, I can't, nothing took my freedom away. I said, oh, hell no.
It was the worst 7 days of my life. I was like, I know for a fact this is not what I want to do. This ain't it. This ain't it.
Call real quick.
No, we are not doing this again. Nope. No, sir.
So yeah, and so when I got out, man, it was so weird that when he asked me, it was like, the ask was like, it was like I was clean. Like I was like I never made a mistake type ask, right? Right. I was for real. Like I was forgiven, but I was like, why me? Mm-hmm. Like now this is the part where it's like, why me? Mm-hmm. Like, nobody ever asked me from the time I know in sports into to this opportunity, but I'm always felt like I was begging people to see me.
Yeah.
And then it was like, this person sees me.
Yeah.
But I realized in that moment, it wasn't him seeing me. It was God seeing him through, of God seeing me through him. Mm-hmm. And I was like, bro, this is crazy. And so then I remember doing our first ever program. We had about like 25 youth and we had four males. Mm-hmm. And bro, it was so electrifying, but I just didn't know what I was supposed to do after that. I didn't know if it was supposed to be a basketball program or whatever. And then that's when God started just doing the work on understanding identity and attitude. Mm-hmm. Was the
just first knocking on the door, huh?
Knocking on the door, right? Yep. Like talking to me crazy from programs to block bashes, all type of stuff. But I just didn't know, like, usually sometimes when you're in business or you're working on something, what's the real focus? And I feel like when I step back now and people say, well, why haven't you had the money success that you wanted? Mm-hmm. Well, I wanted to make sure that I had the role model success that I wanted, right? And then I wanted to make sure that I had the platform that when these kids are coming, we have everything we need to deal with social emotional. Because there was kids that was coming heavy, bro. I remember a kid that would come and he would lash out. Yeah. And like maybe if somebody make a mistake or something like that, and I was gently talk to him and get out of my face, man.
They don't have the tools.
Punch the wall, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I remember one time he said this to me. I said, man, look, man, you keep tacking people, bro. You got to sit out. Yeah. So I ain't sitting out. I was like, yeah, you are sitting out. Mm-hmm. We want you to play again, but you got to sit out. Yeah. He said, man, if you don't get out of my face, man, I swear to God, I'm going to sock you. You don't get out of my face, man, I swear to God, I'm going to kill you. Mm-hmm. I said, if you sock me, I ain't going to do nothing, but I'm going to be back.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, bro, this young man, like, because I loved him where he was at, bro. I wasn't going to beat him up, but it was just like, bro, you need to take a timeout. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But how many people, like, when you're angry and raged like that, do you ever have the tools you said, bro? Yeah. So, yeah, man, I'm going to get off this hot mic. You got
mentor. Yeah. No, that's real.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, and, like, that's the thing is so many coaches, that again, youth sports, all the coaches around, they're so quick to just put a kid in timeout and no follow-up.
Man.
No follow-up. So they go home. Again, those kids go home. This guy can't deal with me. This adult can't deal with me. Right. What's wrong with me?
No, come on.
You know what I mean? Come on. And then they don't have it at home, and it's just like before you know it, they're a teenager. They're in high school. They got more influences. Right. They're getting pulled this way, and they again didn't have the tools at a young age, so now they're super lost. No, you know what I mean? So I think it's just so huge to make the impact at a young age, and I think it's going to be huge. Yeah, I think what we're doing is huge.
No facts. So let me ask you this: where you're at now, how do you see that? As far as like, now you're an advocate, now you're a business owner, now you're married, now you know what I'm saying. Like, where do you see yourself now when it comes to just versus your younger self?
Like I said, even at 10, 11, 12 years old, I could always see this man. Right. It was super weird. I've always been protected by God. God's always been super loud in my life. Yeah. I grew up in a super small trailer, 4 people in a single wide trailer. I could touch walls in my bedroom. Yeah. And I just always praying, and God was always so loud, and I just always knew I could see this guy ahead in my life. So that way, everything I went through in my life from 12 all the way till now, I knew that all the hardships and everything was just shaping me to be the man that I needed to be for other people. So the hard times were never really like super hard. Like if somebody else stepped in my shoes, they'd probably crumble.
Right.
But I always knew that I had a purpose and that I was going through it for a reason. So having that insight and that internal like acknowledgement, it kind of makes it a little bit easier to know that you're just stepping into your purpose.
Yeah. That's crazy that you say that, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't know, like God was always speaking. I just didn't know how to hear His voice, right?
Oh yeah, I definitely went through, as an adult, I went through things that have helped me understand more,
right,
and get closer to God. Because like, you know, praying's not enough, and
right.
It gets deep. There's so much more to it than that.
That's crazy, because me and his last podcast probably 2 weeks ago, we were talking, and it was just about the belief part and stuff like that. And so what I really felt like I needed to do, because this is not a new arena, right? You wrestle with these things daily, yearly, right? And so I remember just having a talk with Nate, and when we were talking and stuff, it was just about like believing in yourself and what do you got to lose, and you know. And so after that, I just accepted it, right? Like, Matt, this is just what God is saying you are. Accept it, right? But through that, I've been seeing the signs. And so the other day, my brother had posted this thing, bro. And I was like, bro, this is supposed to be my screenshot. But it was basically like a text message. And in that text message, it was like God texting me. So it was like, G. And then he said, I gave you the dream for a reason. Yeah. And I'm at this place where it's like, I already seen the vision. He already showed me the vision.
Doesn't mean it's going to be easy.
No,
right?
It's right? Yeah. But I feel like the part that I've always learned through, even just with sports, is I've always been an underdog. And so knowing that that's how it's going to be, I don't really care about that part, because I get that part. Yeah. But the part that I kept wrestling with is, you can have that part, but you can have doubt. And if you have doubt, then you can't see anything that really has to do with the vision. Yeah. And so I believe that faith and works go hand in hand. Yeah. And so this is the part now where I feel like, man, if I'm a worker, what's my faith level like? If I'm a faith guy, what's my work ethic like? Right? And they got to rise together. They got to be on the same page and stuff like that, man. It's huge. So yeah,
it's heavy.
No, definitely.
Super heavy.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, man, I want to applaud you, man, for just like, you know, give you your flowers, man, because it takes courage. It takes sacrifice. Yeah. It takes the amount of no's that people just they don't understand the deleted scenes that go into the hours of sweat equity that we do when it comes to the calling. Yeah. And again, like you said, we're not doing this to get rich. We're not doing this to look at me. We're just speaking from a place like, man, if I was this young man or this young boy, these are the words that I would articulate. And so how could people, you know, find you? How could people know more about your work and your line of work? Like, where do they go, you know?
So I'm still pretty young in the development stages. There's way more to it than I ever thought when I first started. You know, policy forms, insurance, you know, all the P's and Q's that you got to do to establish a business. Okay. If you want to say that. So, everything's still like transforming, but I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for now. Okay. I plan on getting a YouTube thing going. Okay. You know, like you got going. Yeah. It'd be huge. Yeah. But yeah, right now I'm just kind of behind the scenes building programs and clinics and stuff that I can put together and get out there. At the same time, I'm fundraising. And, you know, a guy told me that it's a super hard battle to balance. Right. When you're trying to be a mentor, because you got to raise the funds, right? And they say the more you chase the funding, the further you get away from mentoring. Right. So that's another thing that most people don't understand is it's a huge weighted balance that you have to, you know, you can get caught up in trying to chase the grants and the door knocking and the funding for everything. At the same time, you're trying to make an impact on the kids. So right now I'm just kind of working through that balance, trying not to get too far ahead of myself. Right. I don't want to take on too much to where I can't do anything. Right. So I'm trying to do small things at a time and just try to get slowly going. But
no, that's respect, bro. And like, again, you know, you guys can find me on social media as well. You know, Instagram, Vancouverly Outreach. I got 2 Instagrams. Love the Process 2020. And then on, you know, YouTube, we've been getting it out there, you know, with hashtag VEO Young, you know, all the different content, inspirational, educational.
I love your
content. From the heart. No, thank you. And then, you know, TikTok, love the process. But I love what you're talking about, because now the part that we're doing is, you know, childhood trauma, you know, identity, right? Going through the fire, getting it out of the mud, seeing your value. And then now the next step is we are like, we're still evolving, but we accepted that, like, you know, it's like our prime.
Yeah.
Right. We're in our prime, but just because we're in our prime doesn't mean that there's not new levels. And so now in my prime, I can remember when I first started the program and had a vision. I told my boy, like, yo, I got this vision, and I started drawing out the logo of what it would look like. And my buddy now is like, it's crazy because it's been 14 years doing this work.
Wow.
But he is now on my side over at, you know, Fort Vancouver High School, not even knowing that. Remember when we was in my apartment, bro, and I was drawing out this logo, and then you ain't messed with me ever since until that. But I can remember all those times where it was like, you can have an idea when it comes to your vision and stuff like that, but that doesn't matter. You still need mentorship with somebody that has more experience.
Oh, 100%.
And right. And to me, a mentor is a life advisor to give you wisdom. So you have the awareness. That's it. They're not dictators. They're not controllers.
Nope.
They're just helping you see a different perspective.
And so believe in yourself.
No facts, right? Believe in yourself, right?
Yeah.
And so if we was going to hashtag this mentorship matter or something like that, that's, I think people need to understand that that's what mentorship is, right? And then, because everybody, like you said, everybody doesn't have the uncle or the auntie or the coach or the father figure. And then also sometimes people do have those, but the thing that I love that you say was, when you had that, you took full advantage of the blessing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? When I had it, because I'm not going to say I didn't have it. I was so in the stage where I was just sabotaging everything because, again, I saw domestic violence. So every guy that was coming in, beating on my mom and trickery, pimps, all this other stuff, bro, I didn't trust nobody. I didn't even care.
Yeah, that's huge.
I didn't trust nobody. And that's how damaged I was to even allow God's blessings to work. It will really take, like, you got to break this wall down. There was so many things, right? And so I'm grateful now, but it took, the pruning took so long because of I had trust issues. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so
I had a lot of self-sabotage in high school. No direction, no I wasn't getting in trouble when I went home for not going to school or nothing. So I was skipping school, smoking weed, all the wrong crowd. And I'll never forget, we had like a summer league tournament for basketball, and I had my ride lined up, and my coach called me the night before, and he's like, "Hey, I'm going to pick you up in the morning. I'm going to give you a ride." I'm like, "All right." So I get in his truck, and he's like, "What's going on? What are you doing?" You know, and then I'm like, "Huh?" Raleigh Wallace picks me up and takes me to our summer league tournament, and he's like, "I see you just like, you know, your talent's here and you got so much potential, and you're way over here, you know." But again, no follow up. Right. He gave me that, made me think a little bit, but then that's about it.
And that follow through. So man, that's so, because man, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like when we're younger, why do adults think that kids know everything?
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
And so I can remember, like, you know, my incoming freshman year.
It's like, yeah, like you said, it's like, get your shit together. What does that mean?
Right.
Exactly.
What does that entail?
No,
exactly.
right. They think that
you don't know what I got to go home to.
No, right. No, but even just the format of like, get your shit together. This is the title. Is that looking in the mirror? Then next, make sure that this habit wasn't right, but you exchange it for this. Like, people need detail on those instructions.
Especially as a kid, bro. When you're... So the whole idea is like, you know, like being with kids is like to protect the innocence.
No, come on.
Once the creativity is wiped out,
bro,
it's all about survival,
bro.
And then you no longer can like, you're just like, bro, I hope that there's like, for you guys, like, I like, yo, after practice, like, I hope there's food at home.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, what does that mean, get my shit together?
Right. You know No facts.
It's literally uncomprehendable.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
This was my huge thing. I had a group of coaches who were like, couldn't understand why these kids were so emotionally detached, you know, and they expect them to turn the emotion off,
right,
and be an athlete,
right.
And I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. I said, we're 30, 40 years old,
Right.
and we still don't know how to control our emotions sometimes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And these guys are 10.
Bro.
They have zero tools, zero
Damn.
experience, zero
Damn.
learning. You know what I mean? Like, we've been through some stuff to figure out what we got to do, but
Right.
they're young,
Right.
and they got the same. They're living in the same world,
Bro.
as us.
I feel like that happens with a lot of coaches though. Like, what's the Bible say? Like, take the pick out of your own eye.
Oh yeah, speak this book. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It's like, bro, like, so often you see coaches that are like almost incapable of like doing what they're asking the kids to do.
Right.
And it's like you wonder why there's a lack of respect.
Do as I say and not as I do, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's like everybody wants to listen to the cool coach, you know?
Right.
Mhm.
Coach that's like in shape and doing
Right.
it and
Right.
you know has the stuff and he always makes the time and he's never too busy. Like
But
everyone wants to do stuff for that.
They say though, because I just had a situation the other day, Thursday, Nate, I've been getting to it, bro. I've been seeing Nate's at the 4:30s, bro. I'm matching that energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I have a workout where I do Tuesdays and Thursdays, bro. It's called Soul Food Clubs. Heritage group of kids. I love them. But the part that I had to say to them the other day, I had a full-blown template of workout with this kid. I'm working this kid out, but I'm watching them. Freestyle workouts. Freestyle workouts don't work in organized basketball, right? So I'm sitting there watching, not saying nothing, and then I'm getting ready to leave after I finish the workout with the kid. I said, hey, y'all, come here real fast. You got the two seniors go, oh, my gosh, one dude's body language is terrible. I said to the kid, Winston, shut the hell up. Shut the hell up.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, you guys, all I wanted to say was one thing. While you guys are playing, just talk. Just add one organized basketball thing to what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Got another kid arguing with me. Well, my team was. It's not about you. We're talking about a family, a team.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said to them, I just love it. I just love it. Now, I should have told the kids shut the hell up? No. Mm-hmm. So what I did, hey, coach, called the head coach. Hey, man, I was at the gym, minding my own business. Hey, but I did tell Winnie to shut the hell up, right? But I didn't end with just that, because what if his dad's talking to him like that, right? Or whatever, right? So then next thing you know, I saw him in the hallway. I said, Winnie, I love you, right? I care about you, right? Give me a hug. I shouldn't have talked to you that way, but Winnie, you've been doing the same thing in this program for 3 years and then wrestle with the idea of that you still need to do you. Your coach doesn't want you to be Kyrie.
Yeah.
He just wants you to know how to do 2 dribbles and retreat.
Mm-hmm.
That got you playing time.
Yeah.
But the part that is the sad part is, why are we so damn hard-headed? Why do we have to lose everything to gain it, right? And that's the part that's the sad thing, where
So that's what I'm saying about survival. Like young psychology. So these kids do what they have to do to survive.
right,
So that works.
right.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
No
But
facts.
it doesn't work.
No, come on.
You see what I'm saying? But
Come on.
So if they're at home and they're dealing with this type of shit, they're like, well, guess what? Like, when I do this, I wake up the next morning.
Right.
Technically, that works. Right.
Yeah.
So when I don't listen or what you know what I mean? So like, it's very hard. Like, I feel like for people to take like mentorship or advice when your parents are like, that's your first like exposure to mentorship.
No facts. That's the
Again, when you're young kids, like the details are very, like everything has to be very broad. So
Right.
it's like adult is wrong.
right,
All adults are wrong.
right,
You know what I mean? Like it's not like, oh well, now when we're older, we're like, yeah, we're gonna listen to that guy, not listen to that guy.
Yeah.
You can take his advice on money, and you can take his advice on fitness. Like we can do that.
right,
Kids, it's like like
Black and white.
orange man bad. You know?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
It's very blanket. Like,
right,
Adults are wrong.
right,
Then you deal with shit like that.
right.
You know
But
what I mean?
I feel like with their understanding, it's like you're trying to nail in a nail with an onion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see how long that lasts.
Yeah.
And they're convinced
Mm-hmm.
that it's going to work. And the more and more you say it ain't going to work, they're going to prove they're putting all their energy to prove you wrong. But it's like,
So
common
I think
sense.
I think where a lot of coaches go wrong is there's nothing wrong with the hard ass coach,
right,
right? But elaborate,
right,
right? Like you said, after you told him to shut the hell up, come give me a hug. Let me explain to you why I'm being hard.
right,
And that's what I tell my kids. I said, I'd be doing you a disservice
Right.
if I wasn't holding you to your expectation.
No,
I
come
know,
on.
I know you don't know where you're worth yet,
Right.
but I can see what you're
No, come
worth.
on.
I can see where you can go.
Too, I feel like that's where like the mentorship part really comes in. Like,
Right.
you're gonna be like, yo, like, bro, like, you know, I could have went D1, right?
Bro.
I was doing the shit you were doing.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
come on. No,
Like,
come
but
on.
then most people don't go there.
Bro.
You know what I mean? Like, most people stop.
Bro.
And they're like, oh, this kid, like you said, this kid's whatever. I'm gonna focus on another kid that's listening, and it's like, but those are the kids like you.
Right.
Like I said, like yo, like you know, I could have went D1. Right?
Bro, and that's the stuff,
That same shit,
bro. But
like, I
that's
don't wanna
but
listen,
that's
like,
what I have to start talking about, because my biggest thing is I don't talk my story,
you need to.
but I just feel like I don't talk the story because it's just like
But it is relevant.
it's relevant man, it's so relevant, but I just feel like I don't want people to think that I'm talking in a place to be like hear myself or whatever. It's just like I've already been there.
I'm the same way.
You not saying that is a disservice.
Okay,
I could have went D1,
bro,
but I couldn't. I wasn't coachable.
bro,
Like you were a D1 basketball player,
bro,
but I was not coachable.
Bro.
Why?
Every-
Because you're doing the same shit he was.
man.
No, you don't know nothing.
Oh, come on.
This works for me.
But see, but this is the part that's the frustrating part, because this is where I was going to talk about a little bit was my incoming freshman year. I went to Ford, played on their summer league. The first tournament, because nobody knew me, they put me on JV, killed JV. The next practice that we have as a congregation, they moved me to varsity starter. I'm averaging 15 and 8. The landscape changes. They pushed me into Bay. I didn't want to go to Bay because I saw how they did my older brother. My older brother ended up quitting Bay because of the politics stuff. So now I'm at Bay. Don't want to go there. Not a Bay kid. And I want to quit. Bro, it's hard. I'm fighting with teammates next year. I'm fighting with coaches and teammates. And I'm on probation. I'm on probation from 7th grade all the way to my junior year. And the coach knows this stuff. But it's like, bro, you mad at me about missing a game when you knew I had a meeting with my probation officer. If I go to leave there and go to the game, I'm going to jail.
Yeah.
Like, really?
Yeah.
So junior year comes, and I'm like, bro, I don't even want to hoop no more, but the why is still there. If I don't hoop, I can't help my mom. So he tells me in our little, have a game, shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. You're so immature. If you're not immature, we'll get some more. But I'm like, want to say, like, you don't even see me.
Yeah.
You see this gift, but you don't see me, type of thing, right? So then what ends up happening is we go to Gonzaga, bro. And this is how I knew. There's 2 scenarios that made me know that I can go to Gonzaga. One scenario was when I started playing at the hoop, you get exposure with Derek Raviel. I was the only kid probably in that area as an 8th grader that played Derek Raviel one-on-one. Derek Raviel only beat me by 2 points. He sat me down and said, you got what it takes to go D1.
Yeah.
That's just like sitting down and say, hey, man, you're amazing, but you're like, well, what do you do? I'm thinking that you just have to work. No, academics, character, all that stuff. Second scenario was we go back my junior year to Gonzaga and play in the Gonzaga tournament. Mark Fuse is recruiting a kid that we're playing against. Coach, introduce our senior. Don't introduce me, whatever. Don't know, oblivious, right? Like you said, you don't know. You're oblivious to the whole recruiting process, how it works. You're just hungry. Boys come back. Hey, man, we about to play this dude. Mark Fuse is watching him. Nate, when I tell you opportunity, Nate, I'm like, bet.
Yeah.
I'm not, bet.
Yeah.
Our first, the first play, if I wasn't a player, the first play we do is here, you got the point guard, 2 wings, top, bottom. Pass through, go through, double stagger screen. I come off the stagger screen into a 3-pointer. Bow. You know how you just, oh, it's over now. Hey, I'm in it, y'all. Look at it. I'm in it.
Yeah.
Nate, I'm just, bro, I suck to say I was on demon time, bro.
Yeah.
No, I was on mission time. I was on mission time.
Time to eat.
Time to eat. Bro, killed him. He tried to go on me, taking it from him, coming out court. I just had my way with this dude. Like a baby. So then after the game's over, you're not aware of anything. Mark Fuse walks up to Selby, my coach at the time. Sean and Kyle come, blah, blah, blah. They wrap it up, whatever. He asks about me. Sean Kyle said, man, he was interested in you. He comes to our morning game the next day. I killed the game against Rainier Beach. We go home. We drop fire around that, right? We going home. He takes them home. We're sitting in front of my grandma's house. And my coach, when I say, hey, yo, coach, what's up with the scholarships? He chuckles and said, Matt, you're not going to college. You read at a 2nd grade level.
Yeah.
What do you think that's going to do to my dream? Like, come on now. So it's just like, there's kids out there, man, that already are moving in the greatness.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I feel like
That's huge. That's huge.
What's crazy is very unspiritual coaches too. is that some coaches that are like I said, very disconnected from the spirit.
Man,
they will go, this kid is gonna win us games, and that's it,
bro.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, well, like you said, like, oh shit. Oh,
There's way too much of
you're
that.
looking at him. Oh, get him a tutor.
Right.
He got to be able to read.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, it's fine. We're gonna go to state. Like,
Yeah.
they got their own shit going on. They got their own shit going on.
Come on.
They can't think about it. They can't think about all that other stuff you have going on because they have their own battles they're fighting. And again, bro, when you disconnect from this world and you get into the spirit, you're like, that is my responsibility. Come on. When you understand that you finally get into alignment and you see something in front of you like that, you just take it as responsibility, especially as a coach.
Yeah.
Like, but it just doesn't happen, bro.
Right.
It doesn't happen again. It's like, okay, well, yeah, I'm a teacher and I gotta grade these papers and my wife's
Right.
doing this, whatever, and like, yeah, we're gonna at least win state because man's on our team.
Right.
But it's like, but he can't read.
Right.
He can't read.
No, come on.
That's not his future.
No, come on.
And it's crazy.
And that's my thing. That's really what got me going is you look around and you see there's enough of those coaches. There's enough of those guys. There is not enough of us.
No, come on.
That's my thing.
On.
I've come across too many guys in this short amount of time that said, you know what, I've wanted to be that guy for a long time. I've been thinking about doing that for years.
Right.
And somebody's got to have the courage to do it.
Come on.
You know what I mean?
Bro.
To go against the grain a little bit.
You need to be. Every single thing is, yo, you know I couldn't with D1, but
Right.
yo, you know I couldn't with D1,
Right.
but people respect that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, again, it's like,
'Cause
imagine we're talking about money, okay? Imagine we're talking about money, okay? And a guy pulls up and you're like, I want to ask you
Right.
about that. It's an energy, bro.
Right.
It's a respect that's
Right.
given off. Like, again, it's like, no offense, like I signed up at LA Fitness. Hey, do you want to get a trainer? I look over. What are they going to help me with?
Right.
Yeah.
What are those trainers? Do you
Right.
see me?
Right.
What are those trainers going to help me with?
Right.
It's a lack of respect.
Yeah.
The moment you try to coach these kids and they're like, oh, who's it? Bro, this guy's a fucking teacher's aide.
Right.
Like, no, you know I couldn't win D1.
Right. And this
I
is
want
the
to see some of my game film.
bro, and
It's
this is the
automatic
bro,
respect that's given.
and this is the part that is so crazy because after he told me that, remember Austin Powers when they talk about the mojo?
Yeah.
Bro, I lost my mojo, right? So the first 4 games, bro, I was like, I wasn't playing bad, but I was just more of like a systematic guard that just looked for others all the time and never myself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you weren't on beast mode.
right.
Yeah.
So now I remember we playing against Prairie at Prairie. And I don't know what it was, bro. I had this Lil Wayne song called Cannon, bro. And I was in there, Cannon. They're like, I was in my element. It goes into first, second quarter, it's nonchalant. Third quarter, they made their adjustments. They're boxing one and Greg Peavy. Greg Peavy's getting boxing one. And me and him was pretty much on our team. Was the only one that. Yeah. Me and him was the only one that could create outside with the handle. Bro, can't give it to him because if you throw it to him, that's a turnover automatically. Boom. I'm looking down at this dude. I don't know why. I know it was God now, but he just no, I know it was God now. I'm looking, boom. There's this guy on me. I have my dribble still. I'm in a triple threat. I come at him full speed downhill. Pop, pop, pop. Allen Iverson crossover. Made him fall, bro. And then made the 15-footer. 2 back-to-back threes, and then we beat Prairie at Prairie. After that, I never looked back. Bro, that season, I made first team all-league, first team all-region, and first team all-state. Accolades, right? They talk about these accolades. Bro, I did that in one season. Imagine if I would have played freshman year and sophomore year. I sat the bench freshman year and sophomore year. Senior year, I'm averaging almost a dub. Only played 9 games. The coach left, and we got this freshman coach that I never respected. I should have been more coachable, whatever, but didn't respect it. He's having a kid when I'm having a kid. No conversations about kid. And then I quit after 9 games, averaging a dub. They make an article and say, regional point guard quits, why? They didn't even say that. They didn't even know. So, oh my God, hot mic, baby.
You can't skip that part of your life though. You went through that the freshman sophomore bench season for a reason.
Come on.
I mean, bro, you look at it, it's just like, it's sometimes I feel like,
You know what I mean?
But I had nobody,
Yeah.
Tyler, I had nobody saying, Matthew, rate your turn. You see your potential.
Oh yeah, no.
Bro, the whole time, nobody
100%.
said nothing.
Yeah.
Bro, and then what do you think I'm thinking?
And then your peers are looking at you like, you know.
What am I thinking? And now you see the ugly part of me, but you don't see the heart that's like, man, you know what? He seems more passionate than everybody else on the team. We hoop, but he's worshiping this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and that's what I'm saying. Bro. Like
That's
that's why I believe like you have to pursue your own journey because if you're not within that spiritual mode where the thing becomes more than the thing, you never see that in other people.
No, facts.
You never see it.
Facts.
If I didn't do that, I'm
Come
not
on.
gonna be like, oh boy, Jet really loves baseball, bro.
Right? No, come on.
He really is hitting the ball without the tee at 3 years old.
Come
Like,
on.
but because you're like, all right, kid, like here, like
I'm tired.
You're just so disconnected. But when
Right.
you've been there where this thing is more than a thing and it's special,
Right.
you're like, oh no, he's different.
Yeah.
Like because your mind is free to see it. As
No,
a
come on.
mentor and as a coach.
Yeah.
But again, when you're caught up in all your own shit, oh, my wife, we're getting divorced. I got my smoker thing.
Yeah.
You're just like, bro.
You feel me?
You're literally you can't see it.
Yeah.
You cannot see these kids that really have potential, and we all have
Enjoy 'em,
potential.
right?
But you cannot see the kids that like, oh, all we have to do is figure out why he keeps showing up late because he's got something wrong at home.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, damn, Johnny, why are you always late?
Yeah.
It's like, no, why is Johnny always late?
Come on. In the spiritual side, you'll see that.
Exactly.
In the non-spiritual side, you're just thinking like, man, he's not hungry enough.
Exactly.
He's not devoted.
Coaches always, bro, you cannot be a good leader if you're not being led.
No, come on.
And I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Unless you're not being led by something greater than you, you can't be a leader. Because again, then it becomes not about leadership, but about authority.
Or about a win.
Say that again, though. No, say that again.
When you're not led by the Spirit,
Come on.
it's more about authority than it is about leadership.
Come
It's
on.
more about bro. We have to forget when you're in that place that you're there to serve.
No, come on.
It's not about winning games.
Right.
It's about priming potential.
No, come on.
Winning games
Right.
is the byproduct
No, come on.
of priming
No, come on.
potential
Come
and
on.
squeezing the
Come
juice
on.
out.
Come on. Come
Winning
on.
games is secondary.
Come on. Come
Yeah.
on.
Like,
Come on.
that's why I believe when we were
100%.
having conversations the other day, some kids like, and I won't say names that are
Right.
coaching teams that shouldn't be coaching teams.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about football, and I guarantee my team win.
come on.
Win more games.
Yeah. Come
Because
on.
It's not about football.
Come
It's
on.
not about
Come
loving
on.
sports,
Come
bro.
on.
Yeah.
Come on.
I guarantee.
Come
hey,
on.
Hey, bro. Hey, Tyler. Can you help me? What play are we supposed to run? Like, it doesn't matter.
Right.
You could call it games from the cell phone.
Come on.
My team would win more games.
No, come on.
Because it's not about football.
Come on.
Especially in high school, it's not about football.
You was that on Netflix. They got the stealing signs. You seen that one?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, that one is crazy. It's about the dude that was going to go in the Navy SEALs, and he tried to figure out what his
The
sign stealing.
football?
Yes.
Yeah.
Bro, that one is crazy.
That is crazy. I started watching that.
Bro.
He literally stood on the sideline. He only was there to steal the other coach's signs. Because, like, the defensive coordinators from the side, they'll throw up their hands and, you know, and then defense will look at him and know to do this. Well, he
But
was
talk
like,
about that preparation.
he's
guy.
he's like, hey, they're about to run over there. They're going to run on that side. Super wild. Only there for that.
Bro, I just think that.
It was Jeffrey Dahmer's in football, those signs.
Yeah, serious.
Bro, as coaches, I just feel like we're just missing a big part of that.
Yeah.
Like, we're missing the boat. Like, it's not about.
No, it's
so, bro, it's so much deeper. Like, I don't even call myself a coach. Like,
Right.
if I coach, it's like, I'm not a coach.
I would step away. Put it this way. I love coaching. Love it. I would step away from coaching in a heartbeat if it meant to be a mentor instead. Right. I'm literally like this close.
Yeah, but well, I can't. But this is the thing that I realized, because this is the thing that I wrestled with the longest. Mentorship in sports, right? I would wrestle with the sports part because of all the damage I've had with sports. And so I was literally trying to hate sports.
Yeah.
People like, no, bro, I don't do it. No, because it brought the worst out of me.
Yeah.
But also brought the best out of me. But what I realized this, and that's why when you see our program, Vancouver Elite Outreach is a mentorship program that is focused on identity and attitude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Love the process is the sports part.
Yeah.
So I just been working on presenting both of those differently, because again, if you don't have identity and character, you know what I'm saying? It's a wrap for you.
The thing I like about sports is that's why mine's a sports inspired mentorship. Because I think you can use sports is a good way for kids to be tested, and then you get to see as a mentor, you get to see how they react when they're tested, and then that's when the mentorship comes in.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I know you're getting locked down on defense, and that makes you want to check out. But you're gonna get locked down in life.
Come on.
For life ain't easy.
No, come on.
That defense is gonna be there your whole life.
Bro.
So you're gonna have to figure out how to get through that.
Well, shoot, man, we're gonna have to do a part 2. We 50 minutes.
Yeah.
And they said like this. He did the challenge call, homie. He did the NBA challenge call.
Yeah, I gotta go to my youngest got a soccer game this morning.
Yeah. Well, T, man, appreciate you coming all the way from Longview.
Yeah.
Like, that ain't easy, man. Getting up at, you probably have to get up at like 5 o'clock. You know what I'm saying?
4:45.
Come on, 4:45, bro. Like, a lot of people don't understand, like, us doing these podcasts, bro, this ain't just set up on a schedule that we want to do. We get up when we don't want to have to get up.
Yeah.
I have my son right here.
Yeah.
My daughter is right here. My other daughter is right here. You know what I'm saying? Why would I want to leave my kids? You know
I get up at 3:45 in the morning every day for work.
Come on.
I try to sleep in on the weekends, but
feel me?
some stuff's got to be done.
Some stuff got to be done.
Nate's relentless.
You feel me? He's going on his 9th
7
Red
days
Bull.
a week. 7 days a week.
No, but hey, you guys, audience, thank you guys so much for just tuning in, paying attention, giving us your ears and hearts. You know, sometimes the attention span is 8 to 6 seconds, but you guys stayed on for the whole 50 minutes. We appreciate that. Again, tap into our platforms. Comment below if you have any questions or anything like that. And T, thank you so much, man, for real. Thank you so much.
Bro.
To be continued.
I think we'll do a lot more of this.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.